Logan Paul has been under a lot of scrutiny as of late, and he has a lot going for him, and not in a good way. So I don't know if you guys know, but Coffeezilla, who is the internet investigator, has been keeping a dossier on Logan Paul ever since he ended up dropping Dink Doink, which is a cryptocurrency. And if you know nothing about this currency, it's basically another shit coin. Honestly, I never really looked into the currency coin, so I don't really know too much about it. But the only thing that I do like about the coin was like little character. I've always thought the little character was pretty cute. If anything, I've always thought about just taking the little character and just making it one of my characters, because I know how to draw, so I think that little character looks pretty cool. But nonetheless, he ended up going overboard with the hype and everything. He even ended up coming out with an animation for it. I'm not kidding. Check it out.
Logan Paul.
Oh, whoa, hey,
Get him,
ladies,
girls.
what's up? Whoa! Is this a gangbang? Am I about to get gangbanged? Keep your filthy hands off my dink, you perverts! No! No! No!
You ready, Dink Doink? Let's do this!
Incoming! My beloved assistant and Dink Doink!
What's up, bitches? Hey, get your hands off my boss's Dink Doink! Quick, Logan, distract him with your biceps!
Like, what? But committed nonetheless. No, you want to talk about commitment? He even made a little song.
Dink doink, you're my favorite coin. Want you to dink on my face, take a doink on my chest. Yeah, yeah. Dink doink, you're my...
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's a little catchy, okay? But committed nonetheless. I thought it was so funny though, like back when they were hyping it up, when Mike, out of all people, which by the way, I love Mike, okay? And I don't just say that to just anybody, okay? I always talk about how I like Sneeko, or I like Ethan, I like whoever public figure you mention, okay? Rarely do I ever say I love somebody, and I love Mike, okay? But he was hyping this up, and it was just so cringe at the time, and it was funny because iDubbbz ended up coming out with a video. It was just absolutely hilarious how he just kind of shut him down.
I know you guys have been busting your ass to make sure that the hottest, newest coin of 2021.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You are a piece of shit. Fuck you.
I thought that was funny. I always find that funny. But nonetheless, I love Mike, okay? I have no issues with him. I actually got no issues with Logan or George at all. So just want to let you guys know, because we're going to go ahead and talk about them in a bit. I do also want to talk about just a little bit, okay? Because I don't really know too much about the whole NFT scandal that's going on with him. But yeah, just in case you guys don't know, he has some NFT products and they kind of look like this. Honestly, I think that they're pretty cute and they're pretty unique, especially for a person like myself who loves photoshopping images. I know how to draw, I know how to Photoshop images, so that's kind of like my realm of expertise. And I love how these look. They're appealing to me and aesthetically pleasing. However, I don't really know too much about the whole crypto NFT stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and link a video down below by Coffeezilla. Go check it out if you guys really want to know more about it. It's really interesting, and I really gotta say, I can't wait till part 3 comes out. I know Coffeezilla, he's kind of working on part 3 right now, and this is like a soap opera, which, by the way, if you guys don't know what a soap opera is, you ever heard of Bridgerton, Dexter, or Wednesday, The Addams Family? The one that's really popping right now, Wednesday. Well, those are all soap operas. Just in case you don't know what a soap opera is, that's what a soap opera is. I believe that in part 3, he's gonna be interviewing. Coffeezilla is gonna be interviewing Logan Paul, so that's gonna be pretty interesting. Hopefully that's the case. I don't know. I feel like Logan Paul really has to come out and talk about this, because we need his voice right now. I wanted him to go on Daddy DeFranco's channel to kind of talk about it with Coffeezilla, but I guess it wasn't arranged, and unfortunately that event didn't happen. But it seems like Coffeezilla and Logan Paul, at least from the trailer, it looks like they're gonna end up speaking to one another. So hopefully all of that gets cleared up. Now lastly, I do want to talk about one more thing. I theorize that perhaps he had many people who were coming up to him, proposing ideas to him, because he is a very powerful figure with a very large brand. So I'm sure that there's people out there who are pitching him ideas like NFTs or maybe even cryptocurrencies or whatever the case is. However, I really don't know what the situation is, because I don't know if you've seen the videos from Coffeezilla, but Coffeezilla, he's investigating an individual by the name, I believe it's Eddie. I don't remember the name, but I think it's Eddie something Ibanez or something like that. And apparently he's told lies, these stories, to other people to make business or to collaborate on some project. So perhaps he maybe came up to Logan Paul and just kind of proposed this idea. Who knows? Average people like yourself and I, we're never going to understand what it's like to be in the upper echelons of society, to be that powerful of a figure all the way on top of the game. Like Logan Paul, Joe Rogan, even Joe Rogan too. He constantly gets proposed ideas to. Even when like he's at a club attempting to perform his set, he'll have people just come up to him just trying to propose ideas.
Every show I've done in the past 3
okay.
weeks, I've been hit up for something.
They don't bother me. They just, you know, I love talking to those people. There's
I don't
a
mind
line
talking to people. That's
where
not the problem. It's the people that are pitching shit. Just regular folks that want to come by and say, what's up? That's cool. That's fun. I mean, you have great conversations with some of those people. It's the people that, like, interrupt other conversations, just sandwich themselves in, and gay, I've got to talk to you about this movie. We're about to jump off. Seth Rogen's involved. It's very big. It's going to be huge. I've got a lot of Bobcat Goldthwait. We're in negotiation. Like, shut the fuck up.
So perhaps that's maybe what happened with Logan Paul. Somebody really knew how to sell the idea and how to talk to Logan Paul. Because believe it or not, smart people can get hooked. And unfortunately, this probably was one of those situations. One last thing is that I've heard people call these investors dumb. The thing is that I feel personally, from what I can imagine, okay, and again, I'm not trying to defend these people, the perspective that I can only conjure up is that perhaps these investors only see like the return in investment. We know what goes on with Logan Paul. You know, we remember that time when he ended up filming that body in that Japanese forest. These investors don't exactly do all of that. They don't keep up with somebody's life. Instead, they try to measure their prospects by seeing how reliable the brand is. Does the brand have a lot of followers? Stuff like that, you know, stuff that like only a business person will understand or will look at. So I'm not trying to like crap on these investors and say that they're dumb. We don't know why they did it. Now, I want to go ahead and talk about the religious aspect of what went on with George and Logan Paul. Of course, a lot of people had a lot of problems with the way Logan was approaching this. When I was watching this, it did kind of seem that he was stereotyping, which is definitely something you want to stay away from, because when you stereotype a group of people, that stereotype could spread, and a lot of people are going to associate that particular group of people with that stereotype. Like in this instance where Logan Paul is stereotyping Christianity.
What do you think I believe in, George? Because it sounds like you have a misconception about what you think I believe.
Buddy, you cannot tell me about misconception and you keep misquoting the Bible and you keep putting me into a box that I'm not in. You keep bringing up that I bash gay people all the time. When have I ever done that?
Bro, that is a staple of your religion, and it's not bashing gay people. It's condemning them
But have
for what
you,
they
as,
like.
as George Janko, as
ridiculous.
your best friend, have you ever seen me to any straight man or gay man or any type of person ever have ever shown any hatred ever?
No, but you're in the same boat with a large group of people that do.
I believe I'm in the same boat with a lot of hypocrites, and I do agree. I think there's a lot of hypocrites, but you can't paint me out to be like somebody I'm not.
There's a lot of nuance behind that. We can't just say that. Obviously, because he's sitting in front of a Christian, George Janko, who is a Christian, and he doesn't bash him. I don't even think he condemns gay people. He has a lot of friends that are gay people, and he even talks about it too as well. So I would be very careful when I would use language like that. I would say that not all Christians, perhaps I would use that kind of phrasing, because obviously like the way he states it makes it sound like it's all Christians. So I thought that was pretty impressive from George to do. Now I want to go ahead and talk about a certain moment that I thought should resonate with Logan Paul, but I guess it just kind of went over his head.
You know what I mean?
That's where I always land. But
you land on my face with your kicks sometimes with the mean words you say. You don't. I think you're so giant with your words. You really don't know what you step on when you say things. Like really, like, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way or trying to pull at you. I think that you have so much going on in your life, and you're so like power driven that you will mow past your friends and family without knowing.
So as you can see, George is giving him this hint of like, yo bro, sometimes you're a little harsh. But it's not just George, it's also Mike. Mike has noticed this. As a matter of fact, he even tells him.
Logan, as you said earlier, notoriously, and I've stated this to him, he knows this, has one of the worst deliveries ever when it comes to criticism, when it comes to talking about things. He's a big swinging, egotistical cock in arguments.
while I definitely agree with you,
We've talked about
and you
this
are
many
right, and
times.
my delivery is
You're very
something
harsh.
very harsh.
Yes.
Treat others how you want to be treated, right? the golden
Yeah, but
rule.
nobody wants to.
I don't want to
that.
be babied, bro.
Wait,
I
I
don't
thought
want to
you
be
didn't like
babied,
that
and
rule.
neither.
No, but some people aren't.
I
even
don't
able
like
to-
it because it turns out it's not true. Everyone wants to be coddled into the truth. Everyone wants to be handheld and walked up the mountain with a buddy instead of climbing it themselves.
But what about?
Which to me, it's pretty insane because I mean, there's two people that are telling you already. The way you deliver the information, yo, bro, it's hurtful. There is this little segment right after that where Logan talks about how, hey, listen, man, I don't like to be coddled. I like to just have the information, just give it to me straightforward. Why beat around the bush? And I'm gonna go ahead and talk about that moment because I think it was absolutely brilliant what Mike said.
What about what you want?
I don't fuck with that.
What about what you want
Fair
to get
enough.
out of the conversation? Like, and I've had this talk with you a million times. What if the intent is for you to get a productive response from the person across from you?
Yeah.
So
Well,
when you say you don't want to be babied, what if you want them to produce the most meaningful and effective argument that they can, so that you can have the best and most productive conversation? And if I tell you that your approach and your delivery is hindering their ability to produce an effective argument, would that change your approach?
Oh my God, bro. This is why I love Mike, because Mike gives really, really concise and articulates his point really well. He gives really good answers. That's why I really love Mike. And yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that Logan Paul is a little harsh and he doesn't really know how to communicate his ideas really well. At least according to George and Mike's testimony. And I think that and that's okay. You don't have to be good at it. But I think it's important to be aware of it and to improve on it. I wasn't that great of a communicator, and probably I still am not, but I'm learning, and most importantly, hopefully by doing commentary, it can help me improve that skill. However, as you heard Logan, he also said that he's gonna attempt to communicate to Kevin, who he used as an example. He will attempt to communicate to Kevin the way Kevin understands it, which, yeah, that's the whole point. That's the reason why Mike told you that, because he essentially just reiterated Mike's point, but in a different way. And so I can tell that they agree, but it's all about application, which is very difficult to do in everyday dialogue.
And that's even a new thing for you, because that was
because of you. No, because of you. Because of you. In a work environment, fine. But if I'm talking about religion with someone who I love, sorry, bro. I love you. So I'm going to be harsh as fuck with you. I ain't holding back anything. I'm bringing out my swords. Same with you, and you know that.
Me and you are fine.
Bro, I love you guys. I love you guys. So I'm going to attack you two the fucking hardest.
100%.
That's just how I am in my life, because I know that veil of love will never go away.
See, but even after he says that, he still goes back and talks about how he's still going to be straight up with George and straight up with Mike, which, again, it's a bad idea.
But it is all love. It is all love. Your interpretation of my love is not how I'm dishing it out.
Exactly. And that's why George is telling you that he doesn't respond well when you communicate to him like that. Maybe just improving the way you communicate or deliver the message to him, that will go a long way. Because if he keeps this up, eventually they're going to end up in turmoil and they're going to be mad at each other. And who knows, man, maybe he will replace George with another co-host, which I don't want to, because I like George. You know, I think that he's still a developing person. He's like thinking his way through life. I like George. And then this is going to be the last thing that I want to talk about. I know this video's kind of been going for too long already. It's this part where I kind of I was like, no, I completely disagree.
I do feel like, and no disrespect to anybody, I think when it comes to emotional intelligence, I think I'm the smartest one here.
Absolutely not, man. I'm sorry. I cannot give you that title. To me, at least, that title goes to Mike Malak, because almost every single time he says something that is incredibly well said and well thought out, and he's also really good at reading the situation. Like the time when Bobby Lee and George Janko kind of had that little situation going on, he recognized it. And in this situation as well, he recognizes it. And he's telling Logan Paul, hey, listen, the way you deliver the message, it's not good for George. He doesn't receive it well. Dude, that's emotional intelligence. I mean, if anybody's going to talk about emotional intelligence, and is going to be awarded that title, I think Mike. That's why I love Mike, because he always gives really good answers and he's very good at analyzing the situation. So, no, I completely disagree with George. Yeah, anyways, I'm done with that. Again, like, I hope everything ends up working out for Logan. It seems like it's just going to get worse. At least it seems like that, but who knows? Coffeezilla still hasn't put out part 3. I can't wait for that part because again, like I like Logan, I like George, I love Mike. Mike is like awesome, dude. But we'll see what happens. Go check out all the clips that I have here. That I love to put them down below. You guys can go check them out for full context. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next video.